So good afternoon again, my friends. The previous video just got cut off. I will keep on reading. It's the lesson 1.7, an introduction to personality subselves. Okay, so three groups of personality parts. Our subselves seem to fall into three types, which this website calls managers, inner kids, and guardians. Dr. Richard Schwartz and colleagues call them managers, exiles, and firefighters. Each subself has unique talents and limitations. Its function and type seem common across adults and kids. Manager and guardian subselves have two goals: to protect us from significant discomfort and harm as they see it, and to survive moment to moment. Manager subselves are the general staff that guide us through daily life situations where other subselves perceive no danger. A universal manager can be called our true self, capital S, whose natural talent is effective personality in the family leadership. Yourself can help you be consistently effective and serene, or he or she may be blocked from doing so by other upset, distrustful subselves. In this context, the word self, small s, means our subselves as a group of myself. Small s refers to our subselves, your soul and or spiritual, your body. Our inner kids, plural, are developmentally young subselves ranging from fetuses to infants to teens. Most of us have several of them. Like physical children, they know little of the world and are vulnerable to unwise advice and decisions and distorted perceptions. That's very important to enlarge your perception of reality, and understanding when your false self is taking over of the job of the manager of the personality. Until they feel internally known, valued, and consistently safe, inner kids can be powerfully needy, intense, reactive, and noisy. When they react to something, inner children can take over or blend with our self, capital S. When this happens, we are flooded with these young parts, intensive emotions, needs, and naive worldview. We act impulsively and become childish. Do you know anyone like this? Yes, my parents. As an empath, for me, it is very easy to when I meet a person and just in a few days I start assimilating their personality. So I need a lot of space in order to clean myself and my energies. So if the person is very negative, I start having negative behavior. So I realized immediately that it's not gonna work, because there is a saying in German is lernbereit. It's to be ready to learn, und lernfähig, to be able to learn. And people that live on they have a false self leading their personality. They are not eager to learn, and they are not able to learn, and they are not. And it's die lassen sich nicht erziehen, which means that they don't allow to be. They are not educationable. It's not possible to educate them. Okay, so it seems that their caregivers missed the opportunity, and they have not realized that after 18 it's their duty to educate themselves. And I have to say that one of the after a certain period of my adult life, especially in more recent years, all my friends that around me tell me it's not easy to see the abuse that I have been subjected to. That's the first one. The second one is that I have been told that I've built myself, my personality very well, and that is a great compliment. Those were two adults that told me. My friend told me, my best friend told me that in the last 5 years I've changed tremendously. And my daughter told me recently, Mama, I want to be like you. So I think I'm doing a good job and I'm really proud of it. I'm sorry, but I will keep on doing what I'm doing. And very often people tell me, just do what you're doing, you know what you're doing. And I just follow my intuition, actually. I don't follow other people's advice because they have a reality distortion. When my mother wants to give me her opinion, I don't allow her to tell her her opinion. First of all, because her opinion is nothing of my quantum. And second, because I know she's led by a false self. And thirdly, she has a reality distortion. Okay, just because she believes that the way she has live her life, she's convinced is the right one, even though she feels lonely, unhappy, and feminine. She has not blossomed. She does not share her gifts and talents with the world. She's not in touch with her feminine side. She's not nurturing. She's not leveling. But even though the results of the decisions she has made in her life and the way she conducted herself every day have negative effects, even though the negative results are on her face, she is not able to recognize her failures. Okay? Yes, so so she, as you can see, she does not have capabilities of introspection and accept the truth, okay, and accept what is. So usually what she does is she feels very enraged because I left. You know, she feels abandoned, okay, and what she does, she goes to my daughter and to my youngest daughter and tells her, your mother abandoned us. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, tells her, well, that's not our problem. You know, we have a beautiful life. If you feel abandoned, that's an issue that you have to be confronted with. And my daughter at the time was 11. You know how smart she has become. So I'm really proud of her. Okay, and I'm very proud of my daughter because she behaves. Of course, she's a child. She's a child. She has narcissistic tendencies, as until 26 has. After that, you cannot be narcissistic or codependent anymore. You have to be in charge of your personality. She does not. She has a short-term consequences. She does not have yet reward. Wait for the reward. So she has a relatively low impulse control, but that's something that I'm aware and I know how to go around it. And one of my techniques, I don't do any psychological or emotional violence. I don't insult her, I don't spank her, I don't hit her, I don't raise my voice. Sometimes I do, but when I go in Portuguese or when she does not respect my manners, I do like ha or Mama Maria, but usually I use sense of humor. So to use the sense of humor to make a point is the smartest tool, because not only you show your intelligence, you make fun. You don't make fun of, you laugh with. Okay, and I think sense of humor is a great tool, especially when the caregivers have a wide range of perceptions and they are aware of their reality. It can be a great educational tool. Okay, so okay, to protect our inner kids and us as a person, our guardians themselves stay constantly alert to imagine actually inner and outer dangers. Even when we sleep, they are like a personal green beret or SWAT team of dedicated specialists. One or more guardians spring into action whenever they believe that the young part is upset or may be in danger. They too can disable our self-then, often causing extreme reactions and behaviors that puzzle them or are us or others. I just don't know what got into me. Typical signs of guardians in action are failings: forgetting, spacing, blanking, and numbing out, procrastinating, prolonged apathy, grief, rage or panic attacks, screaming, seduction, lying or stealing, abuse to self or others, excessive worrying, idealizing or fantasizing, some depression, some some sleep, concentration, eating and digestive disorders, range of physical discomforts and conditions like migraines, tics, aches and ulcers. These delusions, phobias, suicidal and homicidal thoughts and impulses, addictions, and many more. Such harmful protective actions may seem logically crazy or paradoxical. Most guardians themselves seem to have their own logic, their own kind of logic, with narrow views and often badly distorted or outdated information. They are fiercely dedicated to protecting us and our naive, needed inner kids. Guardian subselves only relax or change their roles when they trust ourselves, and other managers can reliably keep our young subselves consistently safe, building this trust over time, and freeing your self-form or blending and harmonize or lead of your inner family or subselves is the goal of Partwork's inner family therapy. Well, according to my family experience, that I do not trust adults, as my inner children do not trust adults. So basically, and that's the reason why, or one of the reasons why I obsessively read authors that are not on TV. I don't watch TV, I don't watch radios, because what I have learned being with my parents is that they don't know anything. That's what I know, is that they don't study, they don't improve themselves. They impose their awkward life values and rules and regulations onto others without thinking if they are healthy. So I do as above, so below rule. I also had that feeling in primary school and in high school. Especially in the high school, I have the feeling I was constantly in mind control. And because I am a very sensitive person and empathic, I cannot be with big crowds, because I start assimilating the monad conscience of that group and their negative feelings. So for me, living in a high school that is 2,000 kids, and it's like a prison, going in, going out, ringing the bell, and then they have blocks where you read nothing. You only love what you have achieved with effort, and that actually that's not true, because you have to be in the resonance, in the magnetism to get what you want or what is the best for you. It depends on the karmic contracts. So the educational system is not there for the individual to reach their maximum potential or to share their gifts and talents with the world. Is there to indoctrinate you and to do a brainwashing to be a slave to the matrix of lack. Okay, and what we are doing here is to shift our energies to the matrix and perceptions of reality, to the matrix of abundance, and working from there so that we are able to have in control of our thoughts, emotions and actions. Okay, typical subselves. This YouTube video describes the way to identify your subselves based on what follows. If you got here by viewing this video, continue reading. The video intro mentions 8 self-improvement lessons. I've reduced that to 7. Who makes up your talented inner self? Though each of us has a unique roster, some subselves seem to be common in function to us all. Some functions or roles are done by oneself, and some by several. You probably have some or many subselves. Do you recognize? Yes. Common manager subselves. The achiever, the doer, the driver. The pace setter, balancer, analyzer, thinker, philosopher, artist, creative one, inventor, planner, organizer, practical adult, common sense, farseer, visioner, prioritizer, healer, healer-director, professor, teacher, historian, memory manager, socializer, humanist, humanitarian, spiritual one, higher power liaison, learner, student, survivor, moralizer, rule keeper, true self, leader, coach, the CEO, the nurturers, the loving parent, observer, reporter, wise one, sage, crone, the common inner children, abandoned child, the happy child, anxious, scared, worried child, innocent, naive, trusting child, Owed, amazed child. Okay, this is the impressionable. Okay, the joker, the clown, the trickster. Okay, creative child, the artist, the inventor, the curious child, the explorer. Lost, the orphan child, loving, loyal child, the lonely, the needy child. Defiant, stubborn, rebel. Delighted, excited child, the entertainer, the performance, the star. The fantasizer, the dreamer, the mystic, the fetus, the infant. Friendly, happy child, frustrated, impatient. Good, dutiful, obedient child. Guilty child, helpless child, victim. Hurt, resentful child. The overwhelmed, paralyzed child. Rageful, aggressive child. Responsible child, little adult. Selfish, entitled child. Shamed child. Sly, dishonest child. Sensual, sexual one. Often a teen. Friendly, social, playful child. Others. Maybe a guardian subself. Any of these female inner families members affect you. Yes, I know which ones and how to deal with them. Okay, so every time you one take over, you just wait until the conditioning passes. Okay, it's the best option because you know that it's irrational and it's not for your highest best self. Okay, typical guardian or firefighter subselves: the abuser, the sadist, the bully, the rapist, addict, compulsive one, anesthetic, number, blocker, avoider, fugitive, runner, bitch, witch, bastard, catastrophizer, the competitor, the opponent, the controller, manipulator, user, the critic, the shamer, the blamer, the con artist, the thief, the cheat, the cynic, pessimist, daredevil, risk taker, distractor, defocuser, the magician, the illusionist, the denier, matriarchat, patriarchat, the nagger, the reminder, the nihilist, the fatalist, the observer, the people's pleaser, peacemaker, perfectionist, skeptical, doubter, pretender, phony, politician, predictor, procrastinator, evader, psycho, weirdo, schizomaniac, rager, maybe an inner child, rationalizer, explainer, justifier, rebel, defiant one, rule breaker, replayer, repeater, okay, egotist, narcissist, I don't know if you wanted to say that, entertainer, clown, joker, entitled one, jealous one, fanatic, terrorist, zealot, fantasizer, dreamer, first, flirt, seducer, slut, voyeur, hermit, loner, recluse, heroine, champion, star, hoarder, miser, collector, hypochondriac, sick one, idealist, optimist, missionary, impatient, hyper one, irresponsible one, jealous, envious one, judge, bigot, liar, spy, secret keeper, the repressor, the stuffer, righteous, pious one, self-saboteur, failure, screw-up, chopper, glamorous, spender, slob, apathetic one, suicider, killer, taskmaster, overseer, vagabond, drifter, ban, victim, martyr, loser, warrior, Amazon, whiner, complainer, warrior, cautious ones, and others. Each subself proposes a function of is or more important than its name or title. With some editing of these three groups, do you see the whole you here? Can you envision your crew, gang, squad, team, committee, tribe, or troop of subselves as an inner family? For your perspective, over 75% of the visitors of this site say yes, personally, subselves are real, without a question. Each of us has a unique mix of 20 to 30 subselves like this. Not all of them. Different mixes of subselves help to explain the 16 different personality types that popular Myers-Briggs schemes describes. I have already done a video about that. I am the INFJ. Okay. Who are you anyway? If all had a unique personality, I would ask, who is you? Higher spiritual subselves, a fourth group. Many believe every human has one or more spiritual parts. These live in us, somewhere else or both. People speak of special experiences with their higher self, a collective unconscious mastermind soul, higher power, or the one or old ones, or a guardian angel. Many followers of Jesus experience indwelling Christ or spirit within, guiding us a still small voice. Millions of Oriental and other peoples venerate and obey ancestral spirits. Over a million seek their Buddha nature. Many Native Americans and other known they have a totem, a spiritual guide, a special visionary spirit, being who watches over, guides, and protects them. is in their interesting in 1919 book Recreating a Self, therapist Nancy Napier proposes that we can meet and be advised by our wise, caring future self. For an interesting experience with yours, this after you finish it. Some people, for example, their ruling subselves, view such spiritual entities as ridiculous, fanciful, and absurd. Other people are certain of them from personal experience. Do you or could you have one or more spiritual subselves to care for, nurture, and protect you? How might they communicate with you or vice versa? In these years of inner family work with hundreds of clients, Dr. Richard Schwartz reports experience of some, not all people becoming aware of an external counsel or watchers that provide wise, caring guidance of crucial times. Could this be the source of the hunches and intuition that most of us experience, if slowed down enough to notice? Are these our guardian angels? Why this is relevant to you and your family? If this inner family concept is new to you, what you have just read may seem like abstract or fanciful ideas. Having studied and practiced inner family therapy professional since 1992, this is about Peter Gerlach, I now agree with hundreds of other clinicians who feel that disabled true self and discordant subselves cause most mental health and relationship problems. They may also significantly affect physical health. The implication is people who get to know their inner crew and intentionally learn how to promote inner harmony under the wise guidance of the resident true self and other managers and a benign higher power can live significantly more peaceful, productive, holistic health lives. A vital corollary is that self-led people can also help their kids avoid the pervasive wounds and unawareness cycle, develop a life from their true self, and avoid such personal, marital, and social stress and perhaps illnesses. Self-Improvement Lesson 1 offers much more detail of this concept and how to retrain and harmonize your subselves. All several lessons in this website are based on the concept of personality subselves and pervasive psychological wounds and unawarenesses. The practical question I urge you to research is this. Have you ever been living under the control of the well-meaning false self without knowing it? Yes, I understand that. Have the people who are important to you, are your kids, silently develop psychological wounds that will stress them for years and may shorten their lives? Pause, reflect, and notice the voices in your head now and any emotions that have come up. They are some of your dynamic subselves reacting to these questions. Do you know who they are? Reality check. In preventing these ideas of hundreds of average people since 1992, I've experienced a wide range of first reactions. Sadiki, I'm reading this